Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to do a what I eat in a day, and I'm just going to simply show you everything that I eat. Now you guys know that I count macros. I lost 70 pounds in 9 months counting macros, and I tend to eat moderate to high protein, and that is what I track, and I use MyFitnessPal to track that. So I'm going to show you what I eat in a day, and then I'm going to show you how I track that in MyFitnessPal and what my macros end up being for the day. All right, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna have a protein shake first. I typically start my day off with protein shakes. And in a different video, I was talking about the different types of protein shakes that I drink. And so I tend to drink Premier protein shakes. These are really good. They have a lot of different flavors. So I tend to start my day off with these. But what I was saying in the prior video was that I also, every now and again, will drink Core Power. It has 42 grams of protein. This has 30 grams of protein, but Core Power has 42 grams of protein. And what I was saying in the prior video was that Core Power is milk based, and so it is not good for my digestive health. To drink these every day, I can tell almost immediately when I've drank this because it is a milk-based product. And what some of you guys had pointed out was that Premier also has protein in it, and that is correct. Premier protein does have a milk protein in it, but what I think the difference is that Premier protein is water-based. The first ingredient in Premier protein is water, and then the second ingredient is the milk protein. In Core Power, the first ingredient is milk. It is actually a milk product. It tastes like milk, it's creamy like milk, and it's not good for my gut health like milk to drink these on the regular. And so I think that is the difference. This is actually water-based. First ingredient is water, and this is milk-based. First ingredient is milk. And I think that's the difference in the way that my body processes them. But I wanted to kind of point that out in this video because you guys are absolutely right. This one does also contain milk as well, but it's just not milk as the first ingredient. So I am going to start off with the Premier protein, and of course I'm going to add a scoop of Isopure protein powder to it. I got this protein hack from a nutritionist. She said to buy myself some Isopure protein powder and to give my protein shake a boost. This is Isopure whey protein. It has 25 grams of additional protein. So 30 grams, 25 grams, I'll get 55 grams of protein right off the bat with my protein shake. Now typically this will be enough for me starting out first thing in the morning, but I am going to also have a smoothie, and I'm going to share with you that recipe for that smoothie. So I'm going to shake up my protein shake, and then I'm going to work on my morning smoothie. All right, let's get to the smoothie. All right, so the smoothie that I'm gonna make is called a cherry almond flaxseed smoothie. And I got this recipe from a paleo meal plan that I was following years ago. Paleo is just simply a way of eating that focuses on whole foods, foods in their most natural state. And what you'll see here is that with the ingredients that I'm gonna use for this smoothie, all of the ingredients are in their most natural state. I'm going to use a food processor because I like to eat mine. I like to scoop it out and eat it with a spoon. You can use a blender, that works just as well, but I'm going to use a food processor. This recipe does make 2 servings, and so another reason why I like to use a food processor is because I can scoop out half of the serving and then save the other half for the next day. So that's what I'll be doing. So this recipe is really simple. It has some really simple ingredients, and I will leave the recipe in the video description. But it calls for some cherries, and these are frozen sweet cherries. It calls for some orange juice, and I have a half cup orange juice here. Now I did actually squeeze the orange juice from the oranges, and that is what keeps it paleo. Now if you use like regular orange juice that's processed and has other things added to it, like other sugars and things like that, then it's not paleo anymore. The recipe does call for fresh orange juice, and so I actually squeeze the juice out of the orange, and I use simply just a fork, and I did that to kind of show you that you don't really need to be fancy with some of these things. You get it out the best way you can. I do have a juicer but I did actually use the fork to juice this orange for this recipe. Another thing that it calls for is ground almonds, and I don't have ground almonds. I do have sliced almonds, so that is what I'll be using. And then it also calls for some almond extract, and I have that on hand, as well as some ground flaxseed. And there's my ground flaxseed that I'll be using for this recipe. So I'm just gonna add my ingredients to the food processor and we're gonna mix it up. So I'm adding 2 cups of whole cherries. I'm adding ½ cup of orange juice. I'm adding a little less than ½ cup of the almonds. I don't have ground almonds, but I do have the slice, so I'll just add those. And the food processor will grind them up. 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. And then a ½ tablespoon of pure almond extract. All right, so let's mix this up. This does make 2 servings. I'm going to eat 1 serving now, and I'm going to put the other serving in the refrigerator for tomorrow. So now if you want to talk about a food that is healthy for you, that actually satisfies a sweet tooth, this recipe will do that. The sweetness from the cherries is all that you need, and it is an excellent, excellent way to satisfy a sugar craving. And everything in it is all whole foods. This is the Paleo Meal Eating 101. Everything is a whole food. The cherries, the only ingredient are the cherries. With the orange juice, the only ingredient are the oranges. I squeeze it from an actual orange. The only ingredients in the almonds are almonds. Flaxseed, same thing. There's nothing in this that is actually processed. Everything is in its most natural state. And that is what paleo eating is all about. Whole foods, healthy foods, good for you, but also so good to you. All right, so here is what I drink my water out of throughout the course of the day. It is a 64-ounce jug that I picked up from Amazon, and I'll drop the link to this in the video description, but this is just 64 ounces. It has ice in it and some filtered water from the fridge, nothing fancy. Now, I do like it because it has the handle here. You can actually travel with it. I don't tend to travel with it. It's really big, so it doesn't fit like in the cup holder in the car. When it's full, it's pretty heavy. Even though it does have, you know, places for you to hold it, it's just kind of bulky, so I don't tend to travel with it. If I'm commuting, I don't use it, but if I'm at home, then I'll fill this up and I'll drink this throughout the course of the day. It is 64 ounces. I like to try to drink at least one of them and then maybe a little bit more if I need it, but at least one every single day. So I'll just be sipping on this throughout the course of the day. So I'm gonna have a mid-morning snack, and I really like the Star-Kissed Tuna Creations. This is the lemon pepper flavor, but they have a lot of different flavors. I like this because it's quick, it's convenient. I actually do travel with these. I take them to work when I commute. If I'm traveling, I'll throw some of these in my bag with a fork because again, they're small and they're convenient, and they have a lot of protein in them. Now this says 16 grams of protein in this little pack. It has 80 calories, but 16 grams of protein. Now what I'll tell you is that I noticed today that this has 16 grams of protein. These used to have 17 grams of protein, and I thought I was seeing things, but I went to the pantry and I pulled out one that I had prior to. I just bought these from the grocery store the other day. I pulled out one that I had before, and sure enough, this one says 17 grams of protein. And I'm looking at them because they look the same. It says 2.6 ounces. They're the same. Still same number of calories, 74 grams in a serving size. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the difference is. that they would actually reduce the grams of protein by 1. And so my husband looked at it and he said, well, the new one looks like it's just a tad smaller. But I'm like, okay, but everything says that it weighs the same. So I'm gonna have to do some investigating to find out why they reduced that by 1. But today I am going to have the one that says 17 grams of protein because every gram counts. But I am definitely going to research that. I just thought that that was crazy interesting because I eat these all the time. And so as soon as I saw 16 grams, I'm like, something's wrong because this is supposed to be 17 grams. So anyway, this is going to be snack for the day. I'm just going to have the one. And again, it's going to be 80 calories and 17 grams of protein. So a lot of protein in a tiny little pack, and it will hold me over until lunchtime. All right, so it's lunchtime. My husband ran out and picked up Chipotle for us, so that is what we're gonna have. I actually ordered the chicken make your own meal, and this is what it looks like. So I am having the chicken with corn and fajita vegetables with 2 of the flour tortillas, and this is what I'll have for lunch. It's pretty simple. It looks small, but it's more than enough. You have to remember I do have a sleeve, and so it's more than enough for me. But I will have this. Now, if for whatever reason I eat this and then I'm like, you know what, I really want something else, then I would follow it with a protein shake. And I would give it about 30 to 45 minutes before I did that. But I would eat this first and then I would follow it with the protein shake. So we'll see. But most of the time, this is more than enough. I'll eat this and I'll be satisfied. And then I'll have something like a mid-afternoon snack. So I am going to have lunch and we'll see what comes next. So I ended up not having an afternoon snack. I got really busy with work and just didn't have time for one, and so I just decided to wait for dinner. At lunchtime, I put some chili in the crock pot and let it cook, and so I'm gonna have a serving of chili now, and then we're about to go to my son's band concert, and then when I come back, I'll have another serving. And a serving is about a cup or so. But this is how I'm going to get in the remainder of my protein for the day. Now, when I make my chili, and I'll drop the recipe link in the video description, but when I make my chili, I don't use beef because my husband doesn't eat beef. I use ground chicken and ground turkey in my recipe. And so I'll drop the link in, but just keep in mind that I do substitute those things. And so this is what my chili looks like. Nice and hearty. I am looking forward to this. It smells good. And so like I said, I'm going to eat a serving of it now. We're going to go to the band concert across the street, and then we'll come home and I'll eat another serving before I go to bed. And then I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, get really close to my protein intake goal for the day. So let's have some chili. All right, just getting back, finished up my second serving of chili, and I'm gonna show you what my day looks like in my MyFitnessPal. And so I am going to go to my MyFitnessPal and I'm gonna add in that chili. So I'm going to add and just add it here. And I really like that you can put in a recipe into MyFitnessPal. It'll calculate all of the macros for you, and then you just have to put it in by serving. So I just really like that. All right, so here is what I had for the day. So first I had BCAA, which is what I use as a pre-workout when I work out. Then I had my protein shake with the protein powder. And I also had the smoothie. And so I ended up adding all of these ingredients in separately. And I just halved whatever was in the recipe because it was 2 servings and I only ate 1. And so that is what I did for this. So I have the cherries, the extract, the fresh squeezed orange juice, the ground almonds, and the flaxseed. So I just added them in separately. For lunch, I had the Chipotle kids meal, the chicken kids meal. So I had chicken, I had the corn salsa, I had the fajita veggies, and then I had the two soft shell tortillas. For dinner, I had the 2 servings of the crock pot chili, and again, I'll leave the recipe in the video description. And then I also had the tuna for a snack. And remember, I had the pack that said 17 grams of protein. So I had that for my snack. And so when I go to my dashboard and I take a look at my macros, what you'll see is that I hit my protein goal for the day. My protein goal was 148 grams. I was over by 2. I had 150 grams of protein. I had 46 grams of fat, and I had 167 grams of carbs. Now, I'm a little under on my carbs. I still have 5 grams left of carbs for the day, but I'm just really happy that I was able to hit my protein goal, and I did that with the 2 servings of chili. You can see it also calculates here fat, sodium, cholesterol, carbs, sugar, fiber, and you can see I'm a little under that sugar limit for the day. The limit was 58. I was at 51, so I'm doing well there. So those are my macros for today. I'm just really happy that I was able to hit my protein goal. The best advice I can give you about counting macros for weight loss is to simply don't overthink it. Go to the TDEE calculator, figure out what your macro goals should be for the day, put them into some sort of tracking mechanism, some sort of tracking app like MyFitnessPal. There's plenty of them out there. You don't have to use MyFitnessPal. It's just what I have and what I use. But put them into MyFitnessPal and just start tracking. Just start tracking what you are eating. And as you continue to track and as you continue to analyze what is in the foods that you're eating, you'll kind of figure out, okay, where can I get the bang for my buck at with, you know, if you're doing high protein, where can I get the most protein for my buck? That's why I like those little tuna packets. Now, I don't necessarily like eating tuna straight out the pack, but it gives me 17 grams of protein in that, you know, in just a few bites. And so it's worth it to me to eat that tuna because it's helping me to reach that protein goal. And so you'll just get better at it. So don't think that you have to overthink it, over plan it. You're going to have to plan a little bit in the beginning, but as you get better at tracking and analyzing what's in your foods, then you'll recognize those foods that are healthy, that are good for you, that will also help you to reach your macro goals for the day. All right, so that's what I ate today. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I ate, any other videos that you like to see, leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. I appreciate the feedback on the videos, and I absolutely appreciate the ideas on new content. I want to record the content that you want to see, and that is the reason why I'm sharing another What I Eat in a Day video. But leave those in the comments for me. I love to continue this discussion here. If this video has been helpful to you, take a moment and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't joined the community yet, take a moment and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.